One thing I will never understand, and it's such a lame shooting your shot approach, is when a guy will follow you, then he'll like 3 of your pictures, and that's it. That's it. That's the extent of him shooting his shot. Are you a girl? Was I supposed to see that and then I message you? God! If you're gonna follow me and spam like my pictures, shoot me a fucking DM. Cause this is gonna go nowhere. I'm not going to follow you back, and I'm sure as hell not DMing you first. It's the most stupid approach. There's no way this shit works. Like, I don't know you, so why would I follow back a stranger that followed me and liked my photos? Like, the only reason I'd follow you is if you sent me a DM and for some reason it caught my eye, and now I'm going to be like, okay, I'm gonna follow back, let's start talking. Which, mind you, for me personally, that doesn't happen, but I know a lot of girls respond. This is like the most pussy, non-masculine way to shoot your shot. It actually grosses me out, and whatever chance you had, it's gone now. Like, I seriously need y'all to grow up. Shoot your shot like a fucking man.
In 2026, cold approaching isn't just dead, it's completely social suicide. Regular guys have realized that walking up to a woman today is like stepping into a social minefield, where one wrong word gets you labeled a creep.
Having a conversation with one of my girlfriends the other day, and she was telling me how she has a male friend who she's interested in romantically. And I said, have you said anything to him? And she was like, no. And I said, why not? And she said, well, he should get my hints. And I said, hints? What hints? She's like, I mean, the way I act around him and you know, all this stuff. And I was like, the way you act around him? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, you know, he should see that I like him. And I was just like, so why don't you just tell him that you like him? And she's like, well, I don't do that. I don't chase men. And I was like, like chasing men and letting a man know that you're interested in him are two different things. Chasing a man is once he knows that you like him and he's still not giving you any type of time of day or whatever. He kind of has you just kind of lingering over here. Letting a man know, and I don't necessarily mean like, hey, I like you, but giving him some subtle hints at least to let him know that you like it is two totally different things.
Look at how modern dating has degraded. Guys today think liking 3 photos on Instagram is a bold move. Women are rightfully calling this out as weak and lazy, but men are doing it because a quick like or DM shields them from direct face-to-face rejection.
I'm trying to figure out why I can never get a date. I know people look at me and they might think, you're someone who probably gets dates all the time, and I'm not. In real life, people do not approach me. Guys do not approach me at all. And I'm kind of old school. I don't believe in approaching a man, just because, like, I feel like for me, it shows like courage and bravery when a guy approaches the lady. But no guys ever approach me in real life, and I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was like, okay, maybe I have resting bitch face, but I'm like, no, I'm not really that type of person. Like, I don't really just have a mug on my face, like, you know what I mean? And then so the only thing I can think about is people might be like intimidated by me. I'm not really sure why.
Look at how modern dating has degraded. Guys today think liking 3 photos on Instagram is a bold move. Women are rightfully calling this out as weak and lazy, but men are doing it because a quick like or DM shields them from direct face-to-face rejection.
Got this complaint from a lot of women actually that men don't really make real approaches anymore. If they do, it's like some bullshit, like they're gonna catcall or whatever. I do blame the internet as a part of it, but also
I think it's safer for dating apps and Instagram because I just send a DM or send a text, you don't respond, okay, cool, no pressure, no actual rejection, is whatever.
When women wonder why no one approaches them in public, they often blame their resting facial expressions or assume men are intimidated. The harsh reality is that men aren't scared of women. They're simply weighing the risks of a public approach and deciding it's just not worth it.
Men are not cold approaching women anymore. And the more I think about cold approaching, the more it just doesn't make sense and the more stupid it sounds, right? When you're cold approaching, you're in the lower position starting off. So the percentage level of you being successful is very slim, and slim just die. Attractive guys don't have to cold approach. Guys with money don't have to cold approach. They have leverage in some way, either their looks or their finances, social status, combination of all 3, right? This is why they don't have to cold approach, right? In today's society, cold approach is dying because you got to understand women only want the top 20 to 30% of a guy, right? In general. So if they start cold approaching in general, they're only going to be cold approaching those kind of.
Dating apps and Instagram DMs have completely replaced cold approaching. Sending a quick message carries zero social pressure and zero public humiliation. But while screen-to-screen messaging feels safe, it has effectively killed real-life spark and genuine connection.
Saw this video about this, about how guys are like maybe shy or scared to ask girls out now. I don't know why they're not going up to a woman. Like, what's holding them back from that?
Because of feminism and Me Too and all that shit, and because women will put men on blast who like maybe awkwardly approach them.
Yeah.
And like also those gym TikTok videos where girls like work out in the gym and then there's like a guy who like glances at them for like 1 second and they blast them. That's what guys are scared of. And these guys aren't even doing anything wrong. Sometimes they're not even looking in their direction. But like, so there's like this social component now where like people are terrified to get like exposed on social media. So
cold approaching today puts a guy in an immediate disadvantageous position. Unless a man holds top-tier physical attractiveness or high social status, trying to strike up a conversation with a stranger almost guarantees a low success rate with a high risk of awkwardness.
Even look in your direction. But not only that, so many women have taught men over the years that all men are predatorial, so the good men of the world gave up. And it's so funny because women will constantly say that men don't listen, but now that men are listening, y'all are wondering where the good guys are at, why they don't approach you anymore, and why men are just simply not interested. And why the hell would they be interested? They don't know if they're going to be the next subject of all men are trash content on social media. They don't know if they're going to be accused of doing something they didn't do.
With gym call-out videos and social media exposés trending everywhere, men are terrified of being publicly shamed. Simply looking in someone's direction can get a guy labeled as a creep online, so good men have opted to protect their reputation by staying completely silent.
I think one of the problems that we face now is that for so long as women, as a gender, we've said, don't approach me. Don't approach me when I look cute. Don't approach me at the gas station. Don't approach me when I look busted down. Like, just don't approach. And men have gotten to the point where they're just like, I don't know when to approach you. I'm not sure. Now, in my younger years, right? Cause it's been a while since I dated, but in my younger years, you make eye contact with the guy and it was like an unspoken, yes, you can approach me. Like, unspoken permission. I don't know if that's happening anymore. I think that at this point, men have just kind of gotten turned away by all of the turn downs, by all of the rejection is the word I'm looking for. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman approaching a man. But be prepared for rejection. I'll just say that, just like men have been getting rejected as women, if you choose to approach, you're going to have to be prepared for that rejection.
I mean, honestly, I don't think all of this conversation and all these talks about men not approaching women, I don't think it's true. I think it's a farce. And the reason why I say that is because it seems like every other day I'm coming across a video that's saying that men are approaching women and they don't like the way these men are approaching them. And I don't see how all of these women are getting approached every time they leave the house. But then you also have women that are also saying that men don't approach anymore. Somebody is not telling the truth.
Looking at everything we have analyzed from clip 7 onwards, the picture becomes crystal clear. We listen to women asking where all the good, courageous men have gone, while simultaneously watching clips of men explaining why they have completely bowed out of the dating scene. We saw the harsh reality of modern social dynamics. For years, society drilled the message into men that they should leave women alone in public spaces. No approaches at the gym, no talking at gas stations, and no striking up conversations in everyday settings. Now that men have actually listened, respected those boundaries, and stepped back entirely, society is suddenly shocked by the silence. So why is this happening today? It boils down to a massive imbalance of risk versus reward. Men are facing an epidemic of fear, not fear of simple rejection, but fear of public shaming, viral exposure, and being falsely labeled as creepy or predatory just for making a friendly gesture. With social media turning everyday interactions into content for clout, a single awkward moment can destroy a man's reputation overnight. At the same time, traditional expectations are still placed on men to be bold and take the lead, even though the modern culture offers them them zero grace or safety when they do. When you build a social game where a man is damned if he does and damned if he don't, logical men simply stop playing. So how do we fix this and protect our society from this growing divide? First, we need a cultural reset on empathy and accountability. Women who genuinely want traditional courtship need to create a safe environment for it by speaking up directly, shutting down toxic call-out culture, and dropping the expectation that men should read cryptic mind games. On the other side, men must stop relying on weak, passive tactics like passive social media likes, and instead focus on building real confidence, high value, and clear communication. Society as a whole needs to bring back basic respect, open dialogue, and realistic standards. Until we stop treating human interaction like a landmine, men will continue to walk their own path, choosing peace, self-mastery, and personal growth over a broken dating system.